Frank Rutherford. I'm the president of York Technical College, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Student Services facility at our college. For those of you who have never been here before, and for those of you who have, welcome back. To all of our employees and to our veterans especially, I say welcome. I appreciate those who are going to be speaking in just a moment, especially want to you always get in trouble when you especially recognize somebody, but I want to recognize Councilman Roddy for being here today. He is a York Tech graduate, and will be speaking in just a moment. I just want to say, Councilman, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, coming off third shift, and basically a volunteer job. We appreciate you very much. I feel, quite frankly, inadequate standing here with the colors before me and the veterans around me, because I have not served in that capacity. So for me to speak anywhere close to what would be appropriate to speak on behalf of veterans, I'm afraid that I am simply inadequate to do so. What I can say is thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family thanks you. Our country thanks you. We're grateful to you, and we'll be eternally in debt for the service that you have provided and continue to provide to our country. One of my grandfathers went ashore on D-Day, and I will say that he never spoke of that. So I do not know what happened to him. I can only imagine what he saw. And that's the reason that we're gathered here today, is to say that we have a group of people who have valiantly served our country, and we're at a period of time in our history where we're going to see many of them, thank God Almighty, who will be coming back. And they'll be coming back in all sorts of conditions, and they need our help and understanding. And York Technical College wants to do its part to help them with their education and their training and their ability to go back into the civilian workforce and be successful. Because the mission at our college is about building our community through maximizing student success. And that is true for all students in our service area. So with that, I say once again, thank you. Thank you all. And just one last mention here. These kinds of things don't happen by accident. They happen because people make them happen. My thanks to all that have been involved here, to the Color Guard for their service, and to the committee, Sharina DeVos Tillman, Sally Furlong, Ashley Hicks, Maggie Walker, Patricia Hovis, Jeff Page, Marsha Prince, and Lydia Hallmore. Let's give them a hand. Thank you all. And now I would like to ask Dr. Carolyn Stewart, our Executive Vice President, to come up and talk about Veteran Services for just a moment.
Student success. As we've worked toward this mission for the past several years, we focused on three major strategies: connecting with our students, engaging our students, and supporting our students. And our goal is to maintain those three strategies for all students as they come through admissions and acceptance and registration, as they take classes, as we help them succeed in those classes and complete their program of study, and then also move into employment or perhaps transfer to a four-year college. As Dr. Rutherford said, we recognize and we respect our veterans, we appreciate them, and we know that they have needs that may not be typical of our average student. As you hear the presentations and read the goals and strategies of Veteran Services, I think you'll see those three major strategies of York Technical College reflected: connecting with our veterans, helping to support them as they move throughout the educational process and into employment or continuing their education, and also engaging them with each other, with their peers across the college, with our faculty and staff, with their curriculum, and with the college as a whole. So that's the purpose of Veteran Services, and as you hear some of the other speakers, you'll get some of the specifics of what they had to provide. Dr. Rutherford mentioned that he's not been in the service, neither have I, but I had an experience with a serviceman. My brother served in the Vietnam War. Came home as a 21-year-old, not knowing what he was going to do with his life. But he went to a community college in Greensboro, North Carolina, Guilford Community College, and completed the auto body program. That led to his career for a lifetime. He has owned his own shop successfully, and so I think it speaks to the difference that we can make in people transitioning from a serviceman or servicewoman and being sort of dislocated from the normal world and returning to civilian life and trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life, and how am I going to support myself and my family and be successful in life. That's what York Technical College is about, and we hope to make that same difference for the veterans that we serve here. So at this time, I'll let Jeff Page. Jeff is one of our faculty, and he's going to talk to some of the services that will be provided to students that assist them with the classroom experience.
Hi, good morning. I'm nervous. You can stand in front of a classroom and I have no issue with that. You can stand in front of your peers, and especially the military people. And every time I hear the bagpipes play, I cried when Old Yeller died, and I also cried when I hear the bagpipes play. Personal story here, we lost 4 people, and it hurts. We lost 4 people this past summer in South Dakota fighting fires. I don't know if you guys remember that, but when I hear that now, I think of them more so. It means a lot more than it did previously. A little bit about myself. Again, I'm Jeff Page. I'm an instructor of history and government here. I've been in the military. I had it written down. 19 years, 11 months, 6 hours, 6 days, 11 hours. But I'll hit my 20 in April. I'll serve 6 years active duty. I'm a loadmaster in Charlotte at the C-130 unit up there. We have 10 C-130s. Combat veteran. I've been deployed to Afghanistan and several other places overseas. I guess you would call it Southwest Asia or the Middle East. When I first found out about this, and I'm going to try to remember where I am, but again, this is very emotional for me. I was tickled and I was thrilled, and I'm pleased to be part of this because although all the services are different, we come to it with each our own customs and courtesies. To illustrate that, I would like to tell you this. One time someone told me, secure the building. And he said that means different things to different people and different services. To the Navy, it means turn the lights off and lock the doors. To the Army, it means form a perimeter around the building and don't let anyone in. The Marine Corps, it means to storm the building, lock the doors, put up barbed wire, don't let anyone in or out. To someone in the Air Force, it means take out a 3-year lease on the building and then purchase it at the end of that 3rd year and rent it out to someone else. But the common thread that we all have is that we're all a band of brothers and sisters. And even though I'm proud, and extremely proud, I always wear the Air Force and wear wings, especially since I'm a flyer. I love the Army, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and the Navy. They all mean something to me because they're doing things that I don't necessarily want to do overseas, especially. As I say, I like to close the door and tell them, God bless, and I get to go back to Bogger inside a perimeter where it's safe. So I'm tickled and I'm pleased, and I want everyone to know that if you're a veteran, if you've worn a uniform, and you're coming to school here, our commitment to you is to help you facilitate that success and maximize it. Because I feel like personally that we owe it to all those people who have served and worn a uniform. And my commitment, my pledge is to help you guys out. I'm all upset here. But I wanted to read this, and I was thinking about this, and there was a person named Monroe. And he was serving in the Guadalcanal campaign during World War II. And his job was to drop some people off at the beach. The Marines were storming the beach. That's what they do best. They always like those amphibious landings. And after he had dropped these people off on the beachhead, they came under intensive fire from the Japanese. And when he got back to the big boats, they told him what was going on. And he volunteered to go back and to place his boat in between the Marines that were still on the beachhead and the Japanese that were taking flight. They successfully got all the Marines off, but unfortunately, Monroe, who had enlisted in the Coast Guard in 1939 and had been activated for World War II, were shot and fatally wounded. The other two people that were on the boat with him were saying, are you all right? Are you all right? And he said, his response was, did we get them all off? Did we get all those boys off the beach? And that's my mission statement, my purpose here. Did we help everyone that honors us with coming to this college to facilitate putting them back in the civilian life, to maximize their success, and allowing them to pay back even more with making a difference in the civilian world? Because these are some really excellent people. And if I may I read his citation, Monroe's? Sure. Thank you, sir. For extraordinary heroism and conspicuous gallantry in action above and beyond the call of duty, as officer in charge of a group of Higgins folks engaged in the evacuation of a battalion of Marines trapped by enemy Japanese forces at Point Cruz, Guadalcanal, September the 27th, 1942. After making preliminary plans for the evacuation of nearly 500 beleaguered Marines, Monroe, at the constant risk of his life, daringly led 5 of his small craft towards the shore. As he closed the beach, he signaled to others to land, and then in order to draw the enemy's fire and protect the heavily loaded boats, he valiantly placed his craft with his 2 small guns as a shield between the beachhead and the Japanese. When the perilous task of evacuation was nearly complete, Monroe was killed by enemy fire. But his crew, 2 of whom were wounded, carried on until the last boat had loaded and cleared the beach. By his outstanding leadership, expert planning, and dauntless devotion to duty, he and his courageous comrades undoubtedly saved the lives of many who otherwise would have perished. His gallantry he gallantly gave up his life in defense of his country. Monroe's determination was to ensure that every Marine made it off that beleaguered beach. So too is our mission here at York Tech. And again, as I said, my motto is, do we help them all? We do everything we possibly can to make a difference in these men and women's life. And again, I'm humbled, and I appreciate all of you veterans. I appreciate what the school does, and I most definitely appreciate this statement, this purpose that we're going to try to accomplish here. Thank you and good morning.